My name is George Hagerman. I'm a senior project scientist at the Center for Coastal Physical Oceanography here at Old Dominion University. So my research writ large is not typical in the sense that I don't have a very narrow specialty, but for the past almost 2 decades now, I've been focusing on renewable energy from the sea as a renewable resource for sustainable energy. And for about the past decade, that focus has narrowed to offshore wind. So the big news for Virginia is that off the coast, about 24 nautical miles offshore in the summer of 2020, will be the nation's next offshore wind project. It's the only offshore wind project that is owned and operated by a regulated utility company, Dominion Energy. And it will be the first and only project in federal waters. And really, I think what we hope to accomplish with the turbines, these 2 demonstration turbines, is to show that whole maritime industrial complex, if you will, how that is going to be utilized to build offshore wind around and throughout the Mid-Atlantic region, but also to test certain things that are new and different here in the Mid-Atlantic that they don't have in the North Sea, where offshore wind has been as I would say now, a mature industry. It's cost competitive with onshore fossil fuels in Europe and has been now for 2 or 3 years. And they've had 20 years of experience, but in the North Sea, they don't have hurricanes. They don't have endangered baleen whales. So there's some things that we need to really test and really prove out in our ocean space that they just don't have in the North Sea.
I'm Austin Canito. I was a student here at ODU. I got my bachelor's, and I stayed on to do research because I'm very interested in the ocean and stuff. Mostly, I'm taking data from a bunch of old probes that were sent out, for however many years. Some of them have been out there for decades. Some of them came out not too long ago, but have been found to have problems, and so the data that comes back needs to be analyzed, needs to be worked, massaged to figure out what exactly it is saying. Like, there are some issues with range gates that keep on putting us skew on things, and it's my job to figure out what that actually is happening out there from what data we're seeing. One of the things that's really important in finding out what kind of power we can pull out of offshore winds is figuring out what the variability is in a day-to-day or over the year, or even across the area that's being swept by the rotor of this turbine. This is an enormous turbine. And you can have different wind speeds across the top of the turbine versus the bottom of the turbine. There can be different shapes of gusts and low-level jets that push differently on the turbine, and you want to figure out what is exactly can we pull out of it. How can we keep it moving at the most efficient pace to pull out the most power we can have.
My name is Rima McManus. I am the Offshore Wind Program Specialist. Renewable energy is the way of the future, and with Virginia really on board and getting these wind turbines up, it really helps the next generations to come. And it's exciting to be a part of with ODU and Norfolk as a whole, and really reaching the 757 and all the cities here and bringing them together.